Bonjour.
Hello, how are you?
Well, better.
Better?
Now I could never be better. Dear friends, today we are having the sensory expert. His name is Sebastian. His last name is Jara. Jara Sebastian, Sebastian Jara. He is the scent king. He lives in San Francisco in a wild place. He has over 4,500 fragrance on record in his historical building in the city of San Francisco. That nose, show them your profile, has scented more than you have scent in your life. He's the expert, and we have him on our show today.
Hello.
So, Sebastien, we
Hi.
start
Yes.
with bubbles.
Okay.
Are you ready for that?
I love bubbles.
So, how did you start smelling? Was it armpits that smelled terrible? Was it
I have
at school
smelled
and
plenty of armpits that smell terrible, yes, for sure. Maybe that's what ignited my passion for smells, but maybe that's why, because I love cumin in fragrances.
ooh,
And people associate cumin with body odor.
voila.
Yeah, there
Well,
we go.
let's have a toast to body
Cheers.
odor. That's where it starts. It's a fun expression, you know. You say, I'm smelling someone, or you smell someone for a month before you actually really are convinced of a friendship or a business relationship. That's a French expression, on se sent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have the same in Lebanese?
I don't think so.
So,
Maybe
Sebastien,
we do, I don't know.
were you born in Lebanon?
I was born in Lebanon in 1970.
Such a baby. God,
I'm
you're
kinda
10
old.
years older than I am. It's amazing.
I'm 10 years older than you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't it show? So, how does it feel to be born in Lebanon?
You know, I feel like I've been born in conflict.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was born in September. I'm on the cusp with Libra and Virgo.
Oof.
So I feel like I like balance, but that conflict always gets in the way.
I could tell.
Causes.
It shows in
uproar.
your eyes.
It does.
Yeah, you're conflicted.
I'm always.
Well, let's
conflicted.
have a toast. We're going to unleash that conflict right away.
Okay. All
Taste
right.
JCB Passion. Tell me what you think. Give me the nose. Give me the three
Pineapple.
notes.
Pineapple. Grapefruit.
Yeah. Very good.
There's something else.
2013 vintage, dear friends. JCB Passion
Wow.
Collection.
This is absolutely delicious.
Isn't it cool?
Really, really delicious.
So,
What else? What am I getting? It's pineapple. It's
grapefruit, maybe a little grapefruit.
Yeah, something else maybe.
Butter,
I don't get the buttery.
vanilla,
No, something a little
toast. Oh, tart.
Yeah.
Lychee.
Maybe lychee, but maybe an overdose of pineapple.
Yeah, well, that's great. So, how did you get into loving fragrance and using your nose into everything you do?
It's a lot of different things actually. Knowing my dad was a grower, so he grew vegetables, fruits, all kinds of flowers and things like that. So
Marijuana.
no marijuana. So when you grow up with a person that's really obsessed with like gardening, you're always hanging out with this person and you're smelling things, right? So you get to familiarize your nose with how things smell. And then you get to familiarize with your nose in perfumes, those different ingredients that are in it. And then plus the fact that both of my parents were really obsessed with overspraying fragrances. So one thing led to another. I got addicted to fragrances. And then usually you're wearing fragrances that are, you know, typically what normal people wear, like from the department store. But there's a whole world of perfume out there that, like with your fragrances here, niche fragrances, that once you get into them, you never go back to the other side because it's just amazing, luxurious quality fragrances.
So, define for us niche versus mainstream and what it means, because we have the similar idea in the world of wine.
So for me, niche versus the mass market is the designers like Dior, YSL. They're going through so many different market research and they're creating fragrances not for one person but everybody. So it's very safe fragrances, a lot of very synthetic smelling ingredients. So they're not really high quality and. you get burnt out on them. You get bored of them. You want luxury, you want quality, high quality ingredients. You want ingredients that you can actually smell, that smells like the stuff that I grew up with my dad smelling the ingredients that he was growing. So you can tell. You can't smell that in the designer world or the signature world, but you can with the niche stuff.
What I love is you became the perfume guy.
I actually trademarked it.
I know. I think it's brilliant.
Okay.
How did that come about, and how did you say, okay, that's going to be my life. I'm going to focus into researching, knowing, analyzing, becoming the experts of fragrance?
So I've been doing this for now 10 years. I started doing YouTube videos in 10 years. I am on my second YouTube channel. I started Instagramming in 2014, so 8 years ago. I've grown my Instagram to about 105,000 followers.
Well done.
And I've grown my second YouTube channel to around 205,000 subscribers.
It's a lot of people.
I had different, yeah, they do. I had different names.
Intimidated by it?
Intimidated? You know what I get intimidated by are the comments, because there's some nasty comments out there.
Oh, really?
Of course. You don't get them?
I don't pay attention to whoever is nasty. I just look at the good things.
There's a lot of nasty comments
Jean-Charles, I
out.
like your nose. I like your eyebrows. I love your eyes. I don't look at the, oh, you have a saggy chin, or you have a lot of wrinkles.
Oh.
Or you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get comments like that, but
No,
maybe when I get older I will or something. I don't know. But no, that's the most intimidating thing for me.
Yeah.
But other than that, I just crank it out. I just do constant content.
You do.
Yep, Instagram. Now I'm starting TikTok, which everybody keeps asking me to do.
And how did you decide to create the perfume guy, and why?
So I had other different aliases before, but a friend of mine loves the Points guy. Do you guys know the Points guy? So he said, why don't you call yourself the perfume guy?
Yeah.
So basically that caught on. I had different names on my Instagram and YouTube and Facebook before. So I got Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook involved and asked them to change the name. I took them. I trademarked the perfume guy, so now nobody else can use it.
Which is brilliant. And from there you created the Scent Club.
I did create Scent Club. Yes, Scent Club is a subscription service for a way for you to discover fragrances that you probably don't have access to. Potentially something from your brand.
What do you mean potentially?
Hopefully.
I need to give him more wine.
Hopefully, but no, yeah, it's a great way to discover niche perfumes. Subscribers of mine can sign up. We do a drop every 2 months. We drop it, and it's like 350 to 375 kits. Once they sell out, and then we move on to the next one.
That's awesome.
Another 2 months later. So that's Scent Club.
And how did you felt confident that you were all about senses and all about scent?
So I think there's an addiction involved. I'm addicted to smelling new things.
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of like people addicted with alcohol or drugs or something. You just want more, and I wanted to explore. I mean, I feel like I've smelled pretty much everything in the world, but there's always something that comes along that goes, oh my God, that smells so good. I want that kind of
If
thing.
I offer you a wrapped fresh book, what do you do?
A wrapped, fresh book. What do I do with that book?
Yeah.
Open it up and see what it is. And then
Do you
smell
smell it?
Oh my God. When I was growing up, I smelled books all the time. They
Yeah.
smelled so good. The printing smell was amazing.
I have the same addiction.
My family was like, read the book, damn it. Don't smell it. And I was just smelling it, not reading it. So there you go.
No, but it's cool. It's like being in libraries, being in everywhere. When you smell, what goes through your mind? Memory or present time?
Usually memory, because there's a lot of memory associated with smells, a
That's
lot.
right.
It reminds me of things. And sometimes I can't figure out what it reminds me of, but they'll be like, oh my God, that smells like something I smelled before. What was I doing? What was happening at that time? So, yeah.
What's your favorite scent?
Oh my God, you can't really ask me that question because I don't know how to say it.
Well, let's say tonight you're going home. You're gonna
I'm hanging out in Yountville tonight.
Well, of course. And you're going to put a lot of fragrance on your bed. And you want to sleep with that smell. What would that be besides wine?
So one of my all-time favorite fragrances is a designer of all things. It's called Dior Homme Parfum. Not Dior Homme Intense, but Dior Homme Parfum. I'm absolutely addicted to that smell. It's iris. You have an iris here, a beautiful iris.
Right. And here too.
Oh,
There's a base of iris.
there's
in
iris in
as
both
well.
of those.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah. Dior Homme Parfum smells like as a kid, I used to go through my mom's purse, leather, and I used to take out a lipstick and smear it all over that lipstick, lipstick on the
Yeah,
purse.
of course.
So it's the combination of lipstick, makeup with leather.
Yeah.
That's what the Dior Homme Parfum smells like.
It's a great one.
Yeah, it's
a great
super
one,
fantastic.
And it would be closer to maybe our number 0 if you had to pick one of those.
Oh, really? I would think it would be those two together.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we'll try.
Okay. Nice layering combo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
do you blend a lot of fragrance?
So there was a time I hated layering, but I've come full circle. I enjoy it. I like making my own mixes.
Yeah. Are you creating your own fragrance?
No, but one day I will.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to.
Why haven't you so far?
I guess I was focusing on other things.
Yeah.
But one day I would love to work with the. I don't want to be the perfumer. I wouldn't be like you. I would be the creative director behind the brand and
Yes.
work with well-known perfumers that I really admire and love the fragrances they create and make my own brand. Definitely.
How much do you think fragrance change, alter, modify the mood of people?
Oh, it does it all the time. Like in the mornings, if I wake up and I can't wake up and I'm still sleepy, I would spray something like this beautiful, sparkling, effervescent fragrance,
Number 8.
number 8, created by Bertrand de
JCB.
Chaffaux.
Yeah, exactly.
That really wakes up your senses.
So let's wake up.
Yeah.
I put it even all over my face, in my hair. I love it.
Can I do it too?
Of course.
Why not?
I didn't want to be so forceful.
Okay.
Yeah, isn't it great?
Lately, I've been spraying on my hair.
For
Because I
sure.
put product on my hair
Yeah.
and it stays on forever.
Yeah, and you have good hair.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No, but it's very important. I think in many ways we have forgotten how to perfume yourself. Here, 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 here. And all over the place in the old days we would perfume ourselves.
Okay.
Showers in the 18th century, even in Versailles, were pretty scarce. Did not really exist. You would take a bath occasionally. Even our French king would use fragrance to smell something great,
Yeah.
right?
To cover up the body odor,
For sure.
the cumin.
What is the big trend? We in 2022, tail end of 2022, what's the big trend in scent? Where are we going?
I think since we're kind of coming out of COVID, I think the trend might be uplifting and happy fragrances.
Okay.
But I think most people tend to, I mean, especially people that are really heavily into niche perfumery, they don't really get excited about fragrances like that. I think they want the darker stuff, the longer lasting stuff. I call those screamers.
Yeah.
So things that last a long time,
For sure.
really have massive projection, that would leave a big cloud, a sillage and everything. So,
Yeah.
but as far as trends go, I think the trends are more uplifting, happy fragrances.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if those change anytime soon. Probably they will.
What's your, as I'm going to serve you a glass of red,
Ooh, okay.
which will go beautifully with Lebanese food.
Ooh,
Dear friends, JCB Passion. Luminous, charismatic, ethereal, voluptuous, alluring, debonair like you, and passionate.
raisins.
Here we are.
Raisins.
God, you cannot help it. Chocolate?
It's velvety smooth. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. It's sensual.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's like
beautiful.
100% amour.
Does
Try
it?
this.
Oh, okay. Does
I
it?
want you to try that at the same time. This has been my all day. I'm in love with this right now. Fall season, dear friends. Few days before Thanksgiving, I mean, this is what you want to do.
This is autumn in a bottle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Autumn fruits.
yeah.
No, yeah, I think chocolate definitely.
You love wine, don't you?
I love wine. I usually love to try and figure out what I get from wine.
That's right.
Kind of like
I-
perfume too.
Yeah, you think. You're
Yeah.
a thinker.
What I'm smelling from it.
So if you had to trace a sillage, dear friends, is the sillon. Comes from French. You define the line of a fragrance. So you define the sillage and you write along the notes or the straight line what you want expression to speak. What is yours?
So I just kind of thought about, from what I remember hearing what sillage was, doesn't it have something to do with deer and hunting?
Yeah,
Is that true?
that's right.
And that's where that expression came from?
you display a smell, so the deer or any other one of those follows you.
Okay, okay, yeah. So I love sillage. I love fragrance trail. One of the best ways for me to discover fragrance is if somebody's left their sillage in a hall, and they've walked and turned around, and you're in the hall by yourself, and you're walking through their cloud, and you're smelling something. You're like, oh my God, that smells amazing. Wearing, I would love to find out. So you have to run and catch them to see. Or you walk into an elevator, they've left their sillage in the elevator because they've gotten off of it, and you're walking into this cloud, and you're like, damn, that smells good. I want that.
How do you have obviously a true natural talent of fragrance and smelling. As I feel the only talent I have is that one. I make wine smelling. I don't always need to taste. How do you discover your talent, and how do you advise our friends to become better at smelling, sensing, and defining the fragrance?
This question comes up quite a bit. My followers ask me how do I train my nose. I think the best way to do is for me to smell stuff in nature. If you buy spices or herbs, smell them, get familiarized with them. If you buy citruses and flowers, smell them, recognize them, and then try and smell them in the fragrances you're wearing, and then you'll start recognizing what you're wearing and things like that.
And how do you purely identify who you are as a fragrance? Because the question is an important one, dear friends, because many of us wear the absolute wrong fragrance for our personality. And often, specifically with ladies, who I love to smell you ladies, sometimes you want to portray an image that you're not. And you choose to want to be flamboyant and extremely expressive on a fragrance that is an over-the-counter, powerful, big, boom, 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 but it's not you. So how do you recommend we become more aware of who we are and who we are as a scent? Because that's the big question I have for you afterwards. Who are you as a scent? But question one first.
Wow, this is a complicated question. What was your question one again?
So how do you define who you are as a scent?
How do I define who I am?
Not you, but
as a person. Yeah.
As a person.
So I think the best way for you to do that is to start smelling things and, like I said, familiarizing yourself with the smells and seeing if it fits your personality. Sometimes people have a shy personality, and meaning they want to hide. They don't want something that's going to be projecting everywhere and getting attention. So those are the type of people probably would wear skin scents, personal scents that people will not smell you until they get really, really close to you. But if you're the life of the party, you want people to recognize you, then wear the big bangers, wear the stuff that really is projecting everywhere, the beast mode screamer stuff. And I think that's how you would do it. Just test things out. I mean, sometimes if a fragrance is not for you versus if a fragrance is for you. Some people don't like certain notes or ingredients, so you're going to have to just keep trying, testing.
How different is it for men and women?
Well, in this country, a lot of people associate feminine fragrances, some fragrances are feminine if they're using flowers versus if it's masculine versus spices and woods and things like that.
It's a little binomial primitive, right?
Yeah, I mean, perfumed water, that's all it is. It's like there's no gender behind it. If you like the way something smells, wear it. Because men's chemistry versus women's chemistry, they're so different. I think when women wear flowers, they make them really feminine and pretty. When men wear flowers, they make them more masculine and something unique with their smell, because it's men's chemistry versus women's chemistry type of thing. So.
Yeah, so I feel it's important as well. Give us a sense of history, because pre-1945, really, it was mixed fragrance.
That's what I heard.
Male and female.
Yeah, there was no gender behind it. And usually now it's because of the big designers. They market fragrances. They use a big name for the advertising campaign, like Charlize Theron for the big Dior fragrance. And so it's usually associated with women's perfumes. But if you take that off and it was just marketed as a unisex fragrance, I think men would approach it probably if they like those kind of notes or ingredients. So it's just the designers, they like to associate a big celebrity with it so they can pay them and it would sell a lot of fragrances. That's what I think.
Yeah, no, exactly. And It's a big marketing exercise. I'm a fan of what we have in front of us because we created those fragrances to be non-gender specific.
Okay.
You mix them. My wife and I, lovely Gina and I, share them in the middle of our both vanities, and we mix, we blend, and they're interchangeable. They're not specific to a lady or a man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the way to go. Don't you think it's fun to create
I
that
agree.
way?
I agree. I have no problem wearing flowers versus very masculine fragrances. I don't have a problem wearing barbershop fragrances versus something that's like pretty tuberose overdose.
So tell us about barbershop, because is it how you became aware of your scents?
I think my dad wore a lot of barbershop fragrances, like Brut. We were
Yeah.
speaking earlier.
Oh, of course,
By
from
Fabergé. Fabergé, yeah.
My hair on my chest, right?
Yes, but don't
I
forget.
worried it got me a lot of good-looking girls in nightclubs when I was
really?
14.
Oh, wow.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, that sense. Oh, Brut, you're the man. And I trickled a few bottles of champagne on my torso, and they just rushed in.
Okay. But you know, I grew up
It just worked for a short period of time.
for a short period
But
of
it
time.
did work.
It did work? Do you remember Drakkar Noir?
Of course,
Yeah.
Drakkar.
Yeah, that's the barbershop fragrance I grew up with. But my dad wore the Brut. And
Yeah, the Drakkar Noir was really the image of the desert. You cross on
Hmm.
a motorbike Morocco and Algeria, and you would go to Ivory Coast. And
Oh.
that was the advertising campaign at the time. It was really, paired with Carte Noire coffee at the time in France.
Oh.
So you were Drakkar, you were a coffee drinker, intense Arabica.
Okay.
Interesting, the association,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I see that, yeah.
Yeah.
Fragrances are also a lot more intense back then. Now they've gotten very weak. People have gotten very sensitive to fragrances. So they've started altering them for specific noses and things like that. So, I mean, men used to wear these very bold masculine fragrances, but now they're all sweet and sugary.
Yeah,
I don't know, people just can't handle strong fragrances anymore.
that's right.
I don't know, what's the deal?
Yeah, how do you interpret
Are
that?
people getting like really sensitive and weak with their sense of smell, and just like they complain about headaches, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel we're living in an interesting world. Are you afraid to assert yourself? If not, get JCB. That's who you are. Now, what are the big trends in scents that you see through, obviously, the Scent Club that we all going to subscribe to?
Okay.
And,
Come on by.
he's the guy. He's
Come
the
on by.
perfume guy.
Okay, as I was mentioning the trends, I think uplifting, happy fragrances
Yeah.
are really trendy now. For me, I'm always the more intense
Yeah,
fragrance
and a
wearer.
lot from your native country.
Yeah, I like intense fragrances. They used to be known as Orientals, which we don't say that
Yeah.
anymore. They're called Ambers. But I like them in strong. I like leather. I love amber. I love patchouli, vanilla, resins. I love resins. You know, I like them big, bad, and bold.
Yeah, that's why you like that wine.
I haven't tried it yet.
What? What the hell are you doing? So, yeah, I'm talking about amber,
That's intense.
dry resin, intensity.
This is very, very intense.
This
Wow.
is JCB
Wow.
passion.
It's very
Listen.
raisiny. This is like late autumn when it's kind of like really dried on the vines and harvested and made into wine. Yeah.
Or you could put it on your body and it could be a good fragrance.
Okay. You know, you should come up with a wine fragrance.
That's about time.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been
An
thinking
edible
about it.
fragrance.
Yeah. Ooh, edible fragrance. How would that be? You drink it?
You could taste it and you can wear it.
Ooh. You wear what you taste and you taste what you
I
wear.
think that might be kind of a trend happening.
I like that.
Yeah.
So tell me more. We're defining the future.
Recently, a brand launched 3 fragrances that are in collaboration with an ice cream company or brand, and they can, you can put them on your ice cream and spray them on your ice cream and eat them, or spray them on and smell them.
I like that a lot.
So since your wine here, and
You drink what you eat.
you can
and you eat
you can
what
just
you
spray
drink.
some on your wine and then drink it.
I love it.
Cheers.
That's a new trend, dear friends. So, what a fun time we're having.
Thank you.
No, it's a pleasure. Dear friends, this is so exciting to bring someone with a nose. And so, when you think of the nose, Tell us that triangular experience that you have, the 3 steps of how you analyze a fragrance. Maybe for you there's 4 or 5, but give us your intellectual process.
When you first spray fragrances, you're starting to notice the top notes, obviously, and they're typically the most frail notes, the ones that disappear the quickest. That's generally how I associate my fragrances, unless there's kind of a very linear fragrance that's not really following the top notes, the heart notes and the base notes, kind of a thing. So first, you're going to notice the top notes that'll disappear. Probably 20 minutes later, you're going to be into the heart notes, which are not as frail as the top notes, but they're going to be a little stronger. But definitely that will disappear, and you're left with the most strongest notes, which are, the vanillas, the musks, the woods, the ambers, the resins, and things like that. That's how I experience my.
For sure. And dear friends, think about a triangle.
Yeah.
And 1, 2, 3, top, bottom, hearts. And that's important to have a process similar to wine tasting. We have 5 steps. You look, you smell, you listen, you taste, and you feel the aftertaste. It's very important to follow some type of discipline to guide your intellectual discovery of a liquid or a fragrance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lots in common, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Are you going to become the wine guy next?
No.
Why not?
I'll stick to the perfume guy.
I think you should have 4,000 bottles of wine in your shop. And we should come and taste wine.
Okay, why not? That sounds fun. I love
not?
wine. I love wine.
So
and this
when
is
are-
very chocolatey, by the way. You're right. Yeah, but melted chocolate.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
The one you want to put on your body for
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Make your partner discover the true essence of who you are. Eat them alive
Ha.
in every way. Or leak them alive.
Okay.
Because in fragrance, you can only smell. With wine, use your tongue. So, when are we coming to your place to do a show?
So I'm actually expanding my studio.
Aha.
Maybe next year.
Well,
Why not?
I hope I'm
Can we
still
plan
alive.
it? You'll be alive.
You think?
Don't you think?
Well, if I keep sensing this.
If you drink enough wine, you'll be alive.
That's it. So next year, we're going to go to Sebastian Jara.
Come to my studio. We'll do a consultation. We'll smell fragrances.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And so people can come to your studio physically.
Yeah,
And
by
you
appointment
guide
only.
them
Yeah.
by appointment.
Yeah.
And you guide them
Yeah.
to select who they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's similar to what we do in wine. So what a time together. So I want you to look at the camera deep in the eye and tell us what we should look for in the world, or give us an advice about anything you want to say to all of us from your perspective as Lebanese-born American into the world of sensory.
Well, I think what I want to say first is if you're ever in Northern California, you should definitely, or if you're in San Francisco, definitely make the drive up here. It's like an hour and 15 minutes to Yountville. Definitely come here and experience the wines and also the perfumes, as you can see. That's definitely...
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome, for sure. And then if you want to dig into perfumes more, I think just start exploring. I think the first things you want to do is start smelling, I'm sure you make food at home. Start smelling the food ingredients that you have. Like if you have herbs and fruits and vegetables, start smelling them and see how they smell and see if you can identify them in fragrances. I think that's the best way to start smelling fragrances. And if you don't have access to niche perfumery near you or niche perfumes near you, maybe go online and look at some perfume sample websites where you can buy samples and start smelling things and getting familiar with fragrances that are not, targeted to the mass market, like at the department stores and things like that. So I think that's the best way to go about it.
I love it.
Yeah.
So explore, discover,
Yeah.
being naked in front of the reality in front of you. Don't come with preconceived ideas of smell, or even what we talked about, Fabergé, Brut, or Dracar Noir, or whatever you remember. Just start fresh and allow yourself and your imagination to take you somewhere else.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Dear friends, this is the man behind all fragrance.
Cheers.
Sebastian, thank you.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
And
happy
thank you
Thanksgiving.
for being with us,
Yeah.
tasting wine and talking sense.
Cheers.
And making sense.
Yep.
Very good.